Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Clayface Collect and Connect Wave Two-Face. Here we have Two-Face in the front window box displayed with some artwork along the side. We get that same artwork there and there. On the back we get the same artwork again at the top along with all the other figures needed in the wave to build Clayface. And at the top we do have the read-up with Harvey Dent and Two-Face plotting against each other. The question of who will triumph is still at large. And down at the bottom you have the UPC code, so you can check the local retailer to see if they have it in stock. But enough about that, let's get Two-Face out of the packaging and take a look. And here is Two-Face out of the packaging. And yeah, first impressions, this is a body mold that we've seen at least once before with the Joker from the Justice Buster wave. And it's unfortunately got some pretty limited articulation. Two-Face definitely more of a crime boss figure, so it doesn't need to be super agile, so that's not the worst case scenario to have limited articulation with him, but still it would be nice to at least get his elbows to bend in 90 degrees. But I'll go over that when we do the articulation. He does come with some accessories, so we're going to jump into a better look at the accessories, the alternate hands, and his gun, and then we're going to get into a better look at Two-Face himself, and then we'll move on to the articulation. So he does, of course, come with the Clayface Collect and Connect pieces, which we'll put together once we actually build the Clayface figure, which does leave us with his two pistols and his alternate hands. So looking first at the pistols, nothing too crazy. In fact, I think we've seen these before. They go through the trouble to give you the ability to have a hand slide easily in there, no need for a trigger finger. Or as far as a loose trigger finger, but interesting enough, we actually do get a separated trigger finger for this figure, but he does just hold the weapons pretty simply in either hand or in both hands if you do want to have him dual wielding. But yeah, the guns came out just fine, so no surprises there. His alternate hands, so he does come with two alternate hands, which are very cool. So the first alternate hand comes with a clean coin, or the unscarred side, which is usually means that whatever decision he's making is not a bad decision. And then we do have the scarred coin, and we can see that we don't get any kind of detail on the coin, just that it is scarred. So it is easy enough to tell which is which if you were going to be doing any kind of posing or different types of shots there. So that is pretty cool. And it does just really easily just pop off, straight peg, and then you pop in whichever hand you want. And it is just that straight multiverse hand. It doesn't have any kind of hinge or anything like that. Let's go ahead and get a better look now, though, at Clayface. No, not Clayface, Two-Face. And getting a better look here at Two-Face. Very cool sculpt. I believe this is based on the All-Star Batman from the Rebirth line, but very, very cool. I feel like they kind of gave up, though. We have some very cool sculpt work here for the front half of his deformed side, and then it just sort of fades into, I mean, I feel like they were almost going for like an exposed skull with that paint there, but it, like I said, it feels like they just sort of gave up halfway through. I think if we would have gotten this sort of burned effect all the way through the entire head sculpt, that would have been better. The unscarred side, nothing too crazy, looks fine. Hair sculpt looks good. But yeah, that's kind of lacking over there. Like I said, they just sort of stopped. But it is a nice straight line for the most part. You can see the hair does kind of part over the deformed side at the top, which is actually kind of cool because, you know, hair wouldn't just naturally stop completely. But yeah, looking down at the rest of the figure, so like I said, we have seen this body mold before, nothing too crazy. He does have a soft goods jacket, a soft goods tie, and just a regular black shirt underneath there, and then the sculpted jacket on the arms, pants, nothing crazy there, and just sculpted slacks and some actually really nice looking dress shoes. Yeah, but yeah, the sculpt is nothing too out there, just a basic suit, and really no paint actually. This is all, with the exception I guess of the buttons, are the only real paint, and yeah, they did a pretty good job. So this figure didn't really need any paint on the body except for the neck there to line up with the head. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look now at scale and articulation. So Two-Face is coming in at almost 6.5 inches, just a hair over 6 1/4 inches tall. Looking at his articulation, so he does have a head that can turn side to side. You don't really get much up and down. This is some of your old Mattel style head joints there. He does have arms that can go up actually pretty far. He does have full rotation. He does have a bicep swivel. He has a single jointed elbow, which unfortunately doesn't go very far. And as mentioned before, it is just a rotation. There is no hinge on the wrist. He does actually have an ab crunch underneath there, so he can look down, hardly at all, and look back. Yeah, barely noticeable. He does have a waist rotation. He does have the old style Mattel joints, which get you very, very far as spreading the legs out, but you get that horrible Mattel leg gap. He does have legs that can kick forward, not so far, backwards, not so far. Does have a upper thigh cut, single jointed knee, which barely even, that doesn't even get you a full 90 degrees either. And then he's got this really giant peg there for a slight hinge, but I can't even get it to move, to be completely honest with you. So there is a hinge at the ankle, but it's pretty well blocked by the pant leg there from actually getting any type of real articulation on it. And for a quick comparison here, we can see Two-Face standing next to Joker that I mentioned that uses the same body sculpt and the same jacket. The only difference is they did actually glue the Joker jacket shut, but in looking at it, all the pocket squares and stuff like that are all in the same place, and it is the same general body mold. Obviously, there are different hands for Joker, but you can see it is a mold that's been used before. And here's Two-Face standing next to the other two figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. We have Batwoman and Rebirth Superman. And that about wraps it up for this review, everyone. And, mixed feeling about this, because I am happy to be getting a Batman villain, an updated version of Two-Face, which is great. I do like the effort put into it as far as getting us the alternate hands with a scarred and unscarred coin. Gives you some cool posing options. However, with the mix match in the updated articulation that we're seeing in this wave, and then this throwback to, I think actually this is a body mold basically from the first wave when they relaunched Multiverse. I'm pretty sure Joker was in that first wave, if I'm not mistaken. The Justice Buster was that first relaunched wave. But anyway, you don't get a whole lot of options for articulation. The fact that he can't even literally be posed looking at the coin. His head can't look down that far, and his arm doesn't go 90 degrees, so at least you can't get him to look at it in any way that's natural. You could have him hold his hand in front of his face, but that's kind of, I don't know, it sort of defeats the purpose. But you do get some options, but most of them, I think, are just going to be more like this. You can't even get him holding his gun in a natural upright position. Like if I wanted him to hold his gun up, it's holding it way up. So, the articulation kind of stinks. But I think we know that. So, anyway, that is it for this review. Make sure to hit that like button if you like this review. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this figure. And make sure to subscribe to see the rest of the figures in this wave reviewed. We still have Jessica Cruz and Martian Manhunter. And then, of course, we have the Clayface Collect and Connect figure coming up soon. Other than that, thanks for watching the video and have a great day.